Unique cycle with high tensions, high emotions, unpredictable moves, indecisive traders, illusion, disappointment, and extreme volatility. This is the themes and the emotions for this cycle. So the new moon sets the stage for the cycle. It gives the tone, it gives the overall direction, the themes. The new moon is in Sagittarius at 28 degrees, and it is out of bounds. Out of bounds is wild, unexpected. It's out of the bounds of the sun, so it does not follow the rules. Breaking the rules could be another theme to this cycle. Breaking the rules of what technical analysis is showing on the computer. When technical analysis is saying one thing, but the market is showing another. Sagittarius is the centaur and wants freedom. Its philosophy is the thinking, beliefs. People could be stuck on a belief, obsessively stuck on a belief of how they feel the market's going to go. But unexpectedly, it turns in another direction. This moon is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is currently retrograde, adding another layer of unpredictability to the market. It's at 28 degrees. That is the degree of Cancer energy, emotional. This is where the extreme emotions come in. This happens at 20:43 time, Eastern Standard Time, so that is 10:43 p.m. Adjust your times accordingly. Adjust your calendars accordingly if you're living in a different part of the world. It's also the holiday season, so that will also add another layer to the emotions. People are highly emotional during this time for various reasons. Could be good emotions, challenging emotions, triggered by things that have happened to people during the holiday season. Brings up a lot of memories for people. This will also be a factor into the market. So the moon is next to Venus and next to Mars. It also gives the emotional sudden outbursts, sudden movement. It could be angry movement at times, it could be happy movement at times, but it's sudden bursts of movement. Quick moving because of that, because of Mars. Mars moves quick. The moon is also squaring to Neptune, and it's squaring to Saturn. Illusions is Neptune, and restrictions is Saturn. The market will be restricted on how high or how low it will go. It will not, it's like it won't be able to break out or break up or break down past the resistance. The ruler of the moon, Jupiter, as I said, it's retrograde. It is in a trine to Saturn, which is positive, but it's retrograde. And it's also squaring to Chiron. This is the emotional challenges that I feel will be a very big tone in the market throughout this cycle. Chiron is that wound. It's something that needs to be healed. It's something that could fall into a victim mentality almost if you don't rise above it. But the market could fall into a victim mentality. The emotional sentiment of the market could be, why is this happening? Why is this moving down? Why isn't my trades working out? Why is the market not moving past whatever number I want it to move past? Why does it keep going down to whatever low number it goes down to? The North Node is squaring to Mercury. This is also giving some tensions to the market. It's being challenged, the market. The market movement is being challenged. The prices is being challenged. Having to adjustment, readjustment is another word I would use. Disappointment could be something else that comes up with people, with the market. So next to Venus, emotional attachment to the trading. Trading emotionally will be a theme here. I would say if you're trading, take your emotions out of the trade, set it and forget it. You can readjust, but only do that when your emotions are not there with it. Squaring to Neptune, this market's driven by illusions. False breakouts will also be something I feel that will be happening often in this market. It could look like the market's going to move up and break past resistance, but then this moon square to Saturn comes around, and that's the reality check. Sudden reversal after a pump or limit on the market increase. It could signal that negative overall momentum to the market. Out of bounds. Mars being out of bounds, it's not being ruled by the rules of the sun. So Extremes could be another word here for the market. Market moving in extremes, extreme up and extreme down. The ruler of the moon, as I said, is Jupiter. It's retrograde, so there's doubt, there's lack of confidence, hesitation, the beliefs versus the data of what is actually going on. There's a conflict in the belief of what should be going on versus what the data is showing us. North Node square to Mercury, misinterpretation of signals. Markets will strongly react to news and correcting when the truth appears. News could come out and it could be signaling something that is wonderful for the market. People are over ecstatic, and that's where that over leveraging could come in. But then when the truth appears, it could be the total opposite, and that's where liquidation could occur. And as I am recording this on December the 16th, 2025, I am also having some more difficult struggle with words. So struggling to find the words. So this is Bitcoin's chart for the new moon. The cycle rulers for this new moon is Pluto in Bitcoin's first house, transiting Pluto in Bitcoin's first house, and Jupiter, transiting Jupiter in Bitcoin's seventh house. These are the two planets, and their transits will strongly influence the directions of the markets and the trading. Remember, Jupiter is retrograde, so there's that hesitation, lack of confidence, lack of stability in the market. The moon is sextile to Venus, which is very positive. Venus rules Bitcoin's midheaven. Natal Venus is at 0 degrees of Pisces in Bitcoin's second house. The value of the market is attractive. People are attracted to buy. People are attracted to sell. More people are attracted to getting in. FOMO is another word here that could be seen and heard and used throughout this cycle. The moon is also next to Pluto and next to Lilith. Lilith is at 0 degrees of Capricorn, and Pluto is at 1 degree of Capricorn. The moon is conjunct to these two planets, not in the same house, but by degree. The disconnection to how the technical analysis is and how the market is moving. The moon is in Bitcoin's 12th house. Things are going on behind the scenes that are not apparent right now. There could be moves made behind the scenes, institutional buying going on, accumulation of Bitcoin in particular, to do something later with it, which is to sell it off to sell it off at a certain time to make the market move down, or the opposite, to make the market go up. But it's something behind the scenes that's going on that we don't know yet, and it will likely manifest itself later on this cycle. Could be some deception also going on within the market, deception of what the price is, and a sudden twist and turn of events that makes the market move unexpectedly. So December 19th, the new moon, I feel this will be a challenging day. Not to say that there will not be any green candles in the market, but I feel it'll be an overall challenging day. Mixed emotions, mixed moves, mixed signals within the market, volatility in the trading. I do have possible false breakouts, meaning the market, looks like it's breaking out, but then it comes right back down again. It's going to be a turbulent day, December the 19th. Now, one note before I move forward with the 20th. If the 19th shows to be positive, then December 20th could also follow the positive momentum. But of what I'm seeing right now, the 19th will be challenging. The 20th will also be challenging due to the sun squaring Neptune. It's at 29 degrees. It represents endings. It's challenging. Neptune is direct. It's breaking the illusions of prices, of numbers, of the market movement. Mars is squaring to Bitcoin's moon. Very challenging. I feel that this is going to be a strong, quick movement day, but negative. Like the market's going to keep moving down as the day progresses. Lilith will enter into Sagittarius. Lilith changing a sign, that is also disruptive to the prices, to the market direction. News, information, something could come out pretty big that disrupts the flow of the market. December 21st, that is the winter solstice. This is a big day. This is a big deal. Venus will square to Saturn. Mercury squares the North Node. Jupiter is squaring to Chiron in Cancer. emotion, highly, highly emotional day. Sun enters the Capricorn, Mercury sextiles Bitcoin's midheaven, and the Sun sextiles to Bitcoin's Venus. Okay, let's break this down. This could be a split day. This could be overall challenging throughout most of the morning into mid-afternoon. Mid-afternoon, the market could take a turn, a sudden turn and twist of events, and could end the day with more of a positive momentum because of the Sun sextile to Bitcoin's Venus and Mercury sextile to Bitcoin's midheaven. But to be honest, Jupiter squaring to Chiron, I feel that this transit it could take over the entire market. And this energy could also be influencing the 20th and the 19th. So let's look at the chart for that one really quickly. All right, Jupiter is in Cancer. It's at 22 degrees. 22 degrees is a critical degree. It signals sudden endings. To end or be ended is really what it means. I want to say like sudden death of the price. It's a challenging transit. It's regardless, however you want to split it, however you want to look at it, this is a challenging transit. Now, as Jupiter is squaring to Chiron, Mars will also be still in a square to Neptune. This is also challenging, but with these two things happening at the same time, it is signaling strong downward market movement. Jupiter transits tend to manifest earlier than the exact day of the transit, so that's why I feel that this will likely also influence the new moon, the 19th, and the 20th. This could be stronger than we're thinking it's going to be. The market could have strong downward movement. Prices lowering the resistance level. Now, as I said earlier, that Saturn was squaring to the new moon. This could almost be a saving grace where it could be limiting how low the price could go. But this will be challenging regardless. This is a challenging transit. I expect this happens on the 21st. The day of the winter solstice, this could be a very challenging day. Now, the North Node is sextile to the moon on this day and still squaring to Mercury. Indecisive trading, indecisive market movement. Unpredictable market movement is another word here. There will likely be green candles during this day at certain points, but the overall trend I see is negative. December 22nd, Mars conjunct Bitcoin's Mars. Quick, sudden, changing movements. We also have Lilith squaring to Bitcoin's Venus. That is extremely challenging. This energy is a large transit with it's not an outer planet, but it's a large transit. This energy could also be influencing the new moon as well, but it's challenging. And the sun is also next to Bitcoin's Pluto. Powerful power moves, power grabs. This could be shining a light on the moves made hidden behind the scenes around the new moon. And I see this as challenging. This could be large holders of Bitcoin, of different crypto, selling off around this time, making the market go down. It's going to be powerful, it's going to be strong, but it's going to be quick. It's not going to last forever. It's not going to last throughout the whole entire cycle, but I also see this as challenging. From the 19th through the 22nd, I see the overall market momentum to be negative. Not to say that there will not be any green candles in the market, because there will be. The market always moves, always moving up and down, but the overall trajectory of the market, I see this as negative, challenging. December 24th through the 27th. This is a period in the holiday season. Christmas is on the 25th, so the market could be slow, could be low volume, low trading volume, because people are not paying attention so much to the market, but higher emotions within the market because of the holidays. Holidays trigger different emotions in people, different memories come up, and that could definitely be a reflection in the market. So Venus will be squaring to Neptune exactly on the 24th. Venus enters into Capricorn, and then transiting Venus will sextile Bitcoin's Venus. This could be a very surprising day, actually. It could be challenging earlier in the day with Venus squaring to Neptune. But as we get into late afternoon with Venus sextile to Bitcoin's Venus, that could be a sudden turnaround of the market. The market could have a sudden shift to the upward. And it could surprise us on how positive the market does go. It could start to have long green candles moving upwards for the prices. 25th for here in the United States is the day of Christmas. Could move sideways due to the holidays, due to people just not even paying attention to the markets because they're doing things, whether it's with family or they're just reflecting on the emotions that the holidays bring out in people. But there's some challenging transits. The sun will square to Bitcoin's moon. Venus will be conjunct next to Bitcoin's Pluto, and Mercury will square Bitcoin's Uranus. This is challenging. Again, this is a lot of challenges are happening both first week from the full moon to now. Like I said, it could move sideways to the holidays, or it could just be overall a very, very challenging day, especially that Mercury squaring to Bitcoin's Uranus, sudden downward movement, sudden downfall in the market. Sun square to Bitcoin's moon, very emotional. It's challenging. And Venus next to Bitcoin's Pluto is deep, deep emotions. The darker side of the emotions influencing the market. Challenging. December 26th. It seems like it could be a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. The sun is next to Bitcoin's Mars. Positive, could be a sudden turn in the market, a sudden turnaround, like, okay, the holidays are done. People are feeling a little bit of a breather, and they're actually paying attention now to the market. So the market could have more of a positive overall trajectory on the 26th. But the 24th through the 26th could be overall sideways to the holidays. So just keep that in mind as you're looking at the markets. If you're trading or doing anything with the markets during this time, it's the holidays. The market moves strangely during this time. December 27th, Mercury squares to Bitcoin Saturn, Venus squaring to Bitcoin's moon. Very challenging. This Venus squaring to Bitcoin's moon could be something that takes over most of the day, because Venus is very important to Bitcoin's chart, and Saturn is too, with Mercury squaring to Saturn. So here on the screen, I have morning through the afternoon. I would say mid-afternoon, even to late afternoon, it could be challenging. And then markets begin to turn around more in the evening, possibly ending the day on more of a positive note. December 28th. So this is transiting Jupiter retrograde, a sextile to Bitcoin and Saturn. Now, in the past, I have looked, it has been a negative transit for Bitcoin. But on April 9th, 2018, Jupiter is retrograde, sextile to Bitcoin Saturn, and it gave a positive outcome. So this could be positive. Now, as I said before, Jupiter does manifest earlier. So on the 27th, even the 26th, this transit could be influencing the market, could in fact make December 27th an actually all positive day, overshining, outshadowing, overtaking any other challenging transits. And if this Jupiter sextile to Bitcoin Saturn is positive, you will see the 27th be a positive day as well. That is the key marker of how this transit is going to go. If the 27th is overall negative, then that could be an indicator that the Jupiter sextile to Bitcoin Saturn could just be challenging, or might not even produce that much of a move or influence on the market. The duration of this transit, if it is to be positive and have a positive influence, will last through possibly the 29th. December 29th, there's no transits occurring. The energy of Jupiter sextile to Bitcoin Saturn, that could be to have a continuation. December 30th and 31st. This is moving into another holiday. It's moving closer to the New Year's Day, of what we have as our New Year's Day of January the 1st. So the markets could move sideways during this time due to people celebrating, preparing to celebrate. It could be quiet, actually, during the 30th and the 31st. On the 30th, Mars squares to Saturn. That is challenging. On the 31st, Mars is sextile to the North Node. This is very positive. It's short-lasting. Mars is sudden bursts of energy, but it does not last very long. But the 31st could be a very positive day, leading us into the new year on a positive note. So the 31st, I said, is positive. But on January 1st, we have Pluto conjunct Bitcoin's Mercury. This is challenging. This is very challenging. Long transit. So this could, if this is going to be very negative, a hint and a signal in the market would be on the 31st and possibly the 30th, we have negative overall momentum in the market. And because this is a long-term transit, it could be influencing and interrupting this Mars sextile to the North Node. This happens early in the morning, so we could have early morning greed, positive momentum in the market on the 31st, and it could quickly change over to negative. And it actually, instead of ending the year on a positive note, it could be ending the year in a challenging note with the influence of Pluto conjunct Bitcoin's Mercury. This has to do with trading. This could be from the new moon, where I said that there was things going on behind the scene. This is where those hidden behind the scene actions could be coming out into the light. This could be a very, very challenging day. Mercury does square Neptune as well on the 1st. Illusions in the markets. I do see this as whatever happened on the new moon to manifest and show its colors on this day. So again, I see this as a challenging day, challenging start to the year. And again, it could influence the 31st as well. This could last through this. If it is very challenging, it could last through to the 3rd, possibly into the 4th of January. January 2nd, Sun sextiles the North Node, extremely positive, and Chiron finally stations direct at that 22 degrees. Now, keep in mind, I just said that Pluto conjunct Mercury could be overshadowing all these positive transits. It's quite possible. If it does not, then January 2nd looks to be a positive day. Chiron stationing direct at 22 degrees could be ending the negative, challenging cycle that we have been in through from the new moon. And the Sun sextile, the North Node, is also very positive. So this could be a signal that things are turning around. Yeah, that could happen if this Pluto conjunct Mercury does not overtake this energy. Now, this could be the start of a more positive period for the market from the 3rd to the end of the cycle, because there's some very positive things happening. During this new moon, the North Node will trine the moon and sextile to the sun. That is extremely positive. But the moon will also be opposite to Venus, opposite to Mars. During this new moon, it was next to Mars, it was next to Venus. Now it is opposite of that. And the moon is also next to Jupiter. Jupiter is retrograde. Conflicting market moves, conflicting emotions. But regardless of these challenging transits it's having to Venus and Mars, North Node trining to the moon is overshadowing, taking over, canceling out these negative transits. And this could be actually a very positive day for the market. The full moon is in Cancer. Okay, so this is extremely emotional as well. Moon trining to the North Node could be this optimism in the market. This could override whatever other challenges are going on. The market optimism could be what takes over the prices and has them increase, moving in a positive direction. It's in Cancer. It's going to be emotional. Emotional trading is something that's going to happen here a lot. It's at 13 degrees. That 13 degrees represents Aries energy. So their emotions are dominating the market. In Bitcoin's chart, we have the moon opposite to Bitcoin's sun and Neptune sextile to Bitcoin's Jupiter. This happens on the 4th and could influence this day. Now, the moon opposite to Bitcoin's sun is a challenge. And what I have seen is that when there are transits to Bitcoin's sun, that is what dominates and overtakes everything else, no matter if there's positive things going on. So in other words, I see this as a very positive day, but if it's not, and if it is overall negative, it will be because the moon is opposite to Bitcoin's sun. Whichever way it does go, it will be strong movement. So it's positive, it'll have strong positive movement, long green candles. If it's challenging, it will have long red candles in the market. But by the end of the day, regardless of whatever happens, the end of the day should be ending in a positive momentum because Neptune will sextile Bitcoin's Jupiter on January the 4th, and that's extremely positive. If you're looking to see what your 2026 is going to look like, please contact me and schedule a free 15-minute consultation so we can discuss what direction you are looking to go into for this new year. Like, subscribe, and share, and I will talk to you guys soon.